again, how do you find Australia? I just wanted to know we have a few new faces in there. I mean, new for me. People like Zampa and Tai and a couple of others. The others we know. Can you just enlighten us on those squad which you have? There's no Lyon in this.
No. No, unfortunately, and Nathan Lyon has been doing a great job for Australia for a long time, especially in the longer version of the game, and his stats in the one-day game are pretty good as well. So I'm not sure why they're hesitant to pick him more in the shorter version of the game and then in the T20s. So unfortunately, he's not here, but they brought along a young leg spinner in Adam Zampa. He was on display in that first game against New Zealand, which didn't go quite to plan, but I like his attitude. He's young. He's quite confident. You know, leg spinner, puts a fair bit of turn on the ball and lands the ball pretty well. He did well in the Big Bash. He actually played for my club in Sydney, so I've seen little bits and pieces of him. So I think he's a big prospect for Australia moving forward. Andrew Tai or AJ Tai, he's been around for a little while. But he's done well in the Big Bash, good at the death bowler, bowls good areas, sort of, you know, can get it up around that 140k an hour mark, and as I said, has done well. That's why he's picked on this tour. So, but then there's quite a few, the other names that you would have seen.
Yes, I mean there's Warner and Finch and
Quaj has come back in the team. He's been in real red hot form. Then you go Smith, who's been class for a while. Glenn Maxwell. Now, Glenn Maxwell is a guy who you're not sure what you're going to get on the day. I've seen him run down the wicket, first ball, leave it, and get bowled and stumped. So you're not really sure. And some of the shots he's played are just unbelievable. So he can do anything on his day. So we saw in that first game against New Zealand where I just felt our batsmen didn't apply themselves to that tally they were chasing. I feel they should have got those runs quite comfortably. Unfortunately, they're got their backs against the wall, and both Australia and Bangladesh, it's a must-win game for both sides. But I'm still, as I always do, I'll tip Australia.
Yes, I'm sure you are. And I think on paper as well as on present form, one is going to go for the Australians unless Brian has a different opinion. There's Bangladesh and there's Australia. Both of them are at the moment languishing at the bottom of their table. Now, what do you see? Do you see Bangladesh leapfrogging Australia, or do you see Australia going up?
Well, I've heard a lot about Bangladesh in the last couple of weeks. Of course, they got to their Asian Cup final, and that must have been a great performance to get there. But to be honest, what I've seen so far in the tournament, I think Bangladesh is very lucky that Afghanistan is not in their group, because I believe Afghanistan is actually playing better cricket. I don't give Bangladesh much of a chance against Australia. Australia do not have a point in this tournament, and they do not want to leave without a point. And Bangladesh is a very good way to get off the mark. So I expect them to come very hard. Most teams now are going to be sitting back, assessing that it might come down to a run rate issue come qualification period. So I think everybody is going to be looking for big victories, and I believe Australia is going to overpower Bangladesh. And we're going to have hopefully not too much of a one-sided affair, because I was expecting the same with South Africa versus Afghanistan. And Afghanistan show a lot of fight in that performance, even though they went down by a few runs, but it was a great performance. Bangladesh is going to find it very, very tough today.
Afghanistan, I think, lacked experience. They get cold feet when they see that they're probably approaching the target. That's what used to happen to Pakistan at one time.
I know, at 10.2 to cross the 100 mark, I mean, any of the bigger teams would appreciate that position. But we knew at some point they're going to stumble. I mean, they're playing against the big South Africans. As you said, this is unknown territory for them. And, even in this room here, before the game started, we thought there's going to be a massive margin in defeat for Afghanistan. But I think they should be very proud of their performance.
That's right. Sakhalan, Bangladesh has a handicap, as you know, because two of their bowlers are suspended. And one of them is the main bowler. You see, their main pace bowler, Mustafizur Rahman, is injured. He's back home in Dhaka or Chittagong, wherever he lived. So that was a big blow to them. And now Taskin Ahmed, who was their main bowler, along with somebody called Sunny Arafat. I'm sure you see the Bangladeshi players all have nicknames, and sometimes you use the nickname and sometimes you use the real name. I mean, there used to be in the days there used to be somebody called Pilot and Shantu, and you must have played with them. Khalid Mashood, Pilot,
yes,
and
Pilot,
those ones. You see. Anyway, Bangladesh is handicapped, so that should affect them psychologically and on the field.
Obviously, there were the two players. They are not in the squad at the moment. I think Bangladesh. Yes, we know that they played really well in Asia Cup and they performed really well as a team, as a unit. But after the World Cup, when they played qualifying round, I think the graph of progress just came down a bit. And obviously, Mustafizur Rahman or Rahim, he was injured, and because of that, the bowling unit look a bit weaker after that. But the way they played in qualifying round, I wasn't satisfied with them because maybe the conditions were changed or something, and they are not that consistent as well. That is their issue. Whenever they come out of the home ground, they struggle. And in this World Cup, I believe that because of Sunny and Mustafizur, the bowling lineup is very weak, and the captain Mashrafi Murtaza is down the hill as well. He used his knees quite a lot, so he's struggling. I think we can't see the way he used to bowl before. He's struggling, and he used to bowl with the new ball. Now he's coming and trying to bowl in the middle to save himself, to just bowl for overs and just to do his job as a captain as well. Bangladesh team, I think there is no chance. There is no game today against Australia. And as far as I know, and we all believe that Aussies, whenever they bounce back hard, and they will come hard today.
They come back with a vengeance, I can tell you that.
Yes.
But and at the moment they are stung into action by and defeat of all the people from across the Tasmans. That's bad. That's like India and Pakistan, or like Australia and England. Oh no, that's not to be tolerated.
No, they will come hard, definitely.
How dare the New Zealanders beat us?
And the way they prepared, actually, I really like it. Very professional, and I think we should learn. As a Pakistani, I will pass this message to our people that our problem is we don't prepare ourselves really well. Our preparation when we are there just before the toss, I think that is our preparation. We don't think in a bigger picture. So we should learn from Australia or New Zealand how they prepared themselves for mega events, and I'm sure they will come hard today.
Brian, as an ace batsman, and that's I'm being very stingy with my praise for you. As an ace, how do you evaluate the batting of the Bangladeshis? They've got Tamim Iqbal and Soumya Sarkar in the top order, and then they've got Saqib Al Hasan, and none of them has really fired except Tamim. Is there a problem with them? Do you think they've got too much cricket that may have burnt them out?
I don't think so. I think it's more quality opposition over a period of time. It lifts your game. You got Tamin and a couple of the guys who play, occasional games against big teams, not necessarily for Bangladesh. But I believe as a unit, they're not getting enough quality bowling. So when they do come out on this stage, they're found wanting. The defeats of Pakistan in the recent Asia Cup, and the last two times I think they met, they defeated Pakistan. But it seems like, the gap between the two teams when we saw them play in this World Cup is so huge that I couldn't really understand how could Pakistan lose to them. So I'd really put it down to the fact that they're not playing against a lot of quality attacks over a long period of time to get accustomed, to get adjusted. And it's like playing under 19 cricket one day, and then they're throwing you into a test match or a game against Glenn McGrath or Shane Warne or something like that. You find yourself, you're out of your depth sort of thing, and that's what I'm seeing with the Bangladeshi batsmen.
Yes, playing against a North Welshman and Victorian would be quite a job, isn't it? Glenn, just a quick word about the Australian batting.
Yeah.
You've got Usman Khwaja now, and he's been slotted in the top of the